What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Low-Key Got Game, and I'm back at it like a crack at it, cause ain't shit changed. Speaking of things that ain't changed, I'm finna get real deep into that. You know, I just been doing some thinking, and I meditate a lot now. And when you meditate and you actually take time out for yourself, it's a lot of things you peep, it's a lot of things that you realize, and you just see a lot. You notice a lot of the shit that's going on nowadays, and you really can't believe that this shit's been going on this whole time and really ain't nobody said shit about it. Like, you realize a lot of shit that people won't call out. Me personally, I have went to a private school, I have went to a public school. I realized that it really wasn't much that we learned about Black history. And even when we did learn some things about Black history, it was just about slavery. Literally. It was only about slavery. They may have talked a little bit about Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, all that, but they really didn't get into depths. Me looking back into both of those schools that I went to, in public school, I mean, we rarely learned anything about Black history. I mean, when Black History Month came, we may have learned some things. They had pictures up in the hallway, but we really never learned anything about actual Black history. Now, when I'm saying Black history, slavery, I'm about tired of y'all talking about slavery. I've been in some cases where my teachers, when they were talking about slavery, they would basically make it seem like even the whites weren't at wrong. They would always throw in that, the Africans were getting sold by their people. Their people were giving them up. At the end of the day, our people were stripped of their homes, from their families. They had to get taken from their mother, their dad, their children. They got stripped. There is no way to sugarcoat any of that. I don't care what the situation is. There's no way to sugarcoat that. My point is, why have we never pointed out the good things that we all should know? Like, why do we know about Jan Matzeliger? You know, the man in 1863 who created the machine that made it possible for mass production of shoes? And you know, we all wear shoes. The African American man who did that. Or John Baptist, the man who founded Chicago. He traded with the Indians to get Chicago. Or the African man named York who helped Lewis and Clark on the exhibition. Why do I have to dig deep just to find these people? As if they're being hid from us. I mean, it's online. It's there. But it's not being told to us. It's basically as if it's like, shit, y'all want it? Go get it. Like I said, man, some things don't change. Speaking of things that don't change, let's talk about TV. You best believe that TV is a big influence on today's society, and that's a fact. You know, with the startup of television, they held congressional meetings to basically dictate and decide what's going to be put on TV. Like, what's going to be influencing these people, right? In the early 1900s, TV was basically making a mockery of Black people. And that is a fact. Y'all know the first actual movie they played in the White House is called Birth of a Nation. Look it up, 1918. That movie was basically about how society was when African Americans came back from the Civil War. In this movie, they made it as if white people couldn't even walk the streets. Black people wouldn't let white people vote. And Black people cheated on the votes by voting multiple times. That movie was played in the White House during Woodrow Wilson's inauguration. The only thing that movie was good for was making a mockery out of Black people. And you know, Black people weren't on TV back then, so they couldn't defend themselves. So that influenced the whole society. Basically, everybody saw Black people in that picture. That's how they looked at us. And I ain't even finna get started on the Black faces. But bringing this to today, have y'all ever noticed how every African American male actor who's really good and really making a name for themselves are always getting put in dresses? Have you ever noticed that or ever thought about that? Why do they always put us in dresses? I mean, look, they even had Wesley Snipes do it. Allow me to introduce y'all to a term called buck breaking. So if y'all don't know what buck breaking is, it was basically what they did to emasculate the strongest slave on the plantation, the man. In front of the other slaves, the owner would put him in a dress or other women's clothes and would beat him and make the other slaves watch. They would put him in a dress and make the other slaves watch. Do you not see how this keys into today? They are putting them in dresses and we're watching. They are emasculating them. Think about it. These strong actors, Kevin Hart, Wesley Snipes, Martin Lawrence. It's literally right in our faces, y'all. And I'm not even joking. Even in the food, man. Aunt Jemima. Everybody loves Aunt Jemima. But y'all do know where Aunt Jemima originated from, right? Now, around this time, black faces and black people on products were the gold mine. That's what everybody was shooting for, just because that they knew how good black people's cooking and their recipes actually were. Putting a black person on your product was basically like saying the black person actually made it, as if they did. And in most situations, it was the recipe in the first place. And I know y'all remember the movies where the white people had a black nanny who cooked the best food, the best breakfast, the best lunch, the best dinner, cater to the family, do the laundry, everything, all that. That's basically what Aunt Jemima represented. So it was like having a mammy without actually having one. That's why that product blew up. Uncle Ben's rice. Frank Brown, aka Uncle Ben, was working at a hotel restaurant in Chicago. And a white man approached him and asked him could he use his face for his product. He used it, and he was paid $50. Now look how big this product actually is now. $1 billion franchise. And he made $50. Another example for y'all drinkers out there. Jack Daniels. Jack Daniels stole his recipe from a slave named Nearest. He even admits it in his biography. He admits it. They tried to make it seem like it was a friendship going on, but we all know what really happened. And to this day, Nearest, his family, they still work for the company, but they don't own any rights to it. They have no rights or say so to the company. They're only employees for it. To this day. And last but not least, my favorite, KFC. Kentucky Fried Chicken. Colonel Sanders stole his recipe from a black woman named Miss Childress from Kentucky. He got a recipe, he knew it, and then he told her that he would pay her $1,200 for it. Now, however you look at this situation, you may think, well, she took the money, so she was happy. No. Think about it like this. That was her recipe. But once he found out what it was, he knew the recipe. He had access. He could make the exact same chicken the exact same way. He could replicate it because she gave him the recipe. So she had to take the $1,200 because if she declined, he still could have ran off with that recipe. And if she tried to sue him or do anything in court, back in that day and age, who you gonna believe? Who was the judge gonna believe? Or not even who he was gonna believe, whose side was he gonna take? Think about it. So y'all should think about who you support. This video here was just me basically trying to bring a light to actual African American history. In today's era, it's like they shy away from it, or it make it as if we don't have any history except slavery or when the civil rights was going on. But no, we have way more than that. This is me just basically letting everybody who watches this video know that it's more to the story. As time goes on, some things change, some things don't. But one thing that will never change is the past. But one thing that never changes is our past and history. And I refuse to let them just overlook it as if it never happened. I just refuse. I'm Low Key Got Game Man, and I'm out.